Joining us right now from DiMarzio's great site and all the great people there, and as well, he does great work at ESPN. David Amoyal. David, welcome.
What a pleasure to be on, Anthony. You always call me on great occasions.
Absolutely. Why not? You deserve a lot of the credit because you called Mr. Conte and dissecting this Spanish squad, and the support that he has had early on in this tourney has been unbelievable by guys that a lot of people counted out. Talk about this masterpiece, this tactical gem of a game that Italy played today, David.
Well, you know, I think Conte deserves a lot of credit because we've seen a lot of variations with Italy. In this tournament against Belgium, played a counter-attacking style. Against Sweden, played a little bit of a rope-a-dope, just trying to contain Ibra. And today, he went right at Spain, and he was rewarded for him. So Conte showed why he's such a chameleon tactically.
David, let's talk about the way that this all outplayed today. I enjoyed that they defended as a team, but he gave them all the liberty when they had the ball to go offensively, be creative, and take chances. This is an Italy that we've never seen before, David.
Yeah, I agree. You know, this Italy is really in Conte's image. You know, a lot of the players that he was criticized for bringing to the Euro really paid huge dividends for him. You look at Giaccherini, you look at Eder, and you look at Graziano Pelé, who now has 3 goals and has been sensational this tournament, has really come through for him. So I think, you know, a lot of the criticism that Conte received, you know, on the surface seemed warranted, but I'm sure he showed all those players that criticism, and they paid him back for having faith in them.
One guy that to me stood out and is going to be a mainstay on this national team for years to come, Mattia De Sciglio. Talk about this youngster in the spirit, the heart, the desire, the almost the experience of a guy that's played 10, 15 years in Serie A.
Well, you know, I think De Sciglio really is another credit to Conte. You know, he struggled in the past few years at Milan, has lost playing time to players that aren't, you know, particularly good, but Conte had faith in him and put him in this big game with Candreva out, and I thought he was probably Italy's best player today. And it just goes to show when you have great coaching and you have a coach that believes in you and that you play hard for, what can happen.
David, it's going to be a big concern for Italy now taking on Germany without Motta. Daniele De Rossi, we know, is not at 100%. That's why he exited the match. Who would have thought we'd be talking about Sturaro possibly starting? I never would have believed it. I thought he was just going to be a guy coming off the bench to close down an important win with the last 10 minutes, but he could be playing a massive part against Germany. Talk about it.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You know, it's interesting that you mentioned Sturaro, who started a semifinal in the Champions League for Juve against Real Madrid, kind of in the same circumstances, came out of nowhere and stepped up on a huge stage. So hopefully he'll do the same. You know, Italy in that role has had a lot of bad luck. We had Marchisio and Verratti get hurt before the tournament. De Rossi, who's really been sensational in this Euro, who isn't sure he'll be able to play. But at least Sturaro has shown that he has a track record for showing up big in these big games, and it doesn't get any bigger than Italy playing against Germany next Saturday.
David, we saw Spain that finally cracked. We saw Spain that looked many years, many miles on them today. We saw Spain that was rattled. We saw Spanish players barking at each other. If I'm not mistaken, at the exit of one player late in the game, didn't even want to shake his coach's hand, was disgusted at it. And we finally saw a human side to the Spanish side. It was shocking.
Well, you know, I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed every minute of it just because it goes to show that when you have a great group and you have a coach that believes in that group, you can overcome not having the best talent. And I go back to, you know, Conte made Ibrahimovic disappear against Sweden, did the same against Iniesta today, you know, a player who I think is the best midfielder in the world, and you almost forgot he was even playing. So good for Conte. I think, you know, Spain knows this is the end of a big generation, and good for Italy for being the team that takes them out and ends this great generation of Spanish football. So good for Conte in Italy.
What was concerning but also enjoyable, all in the same sentence, David, for me, was the offensive opportunities that Italy had but didn't cash in. And if it wasn't for David De Gea making 3 unbelievable saves, a couple goal posts, it easily could have been 4-5-0 Italy. But they have to understand, obviously, playing Germany, they're not going to get those opportunities. They need to bury them.
No, they absolutely won't. And, you know, in the second half, I was very concerned because this is really the opposite of what Italy fans like you and me are used to. You know, we're used to playing defensive and trying to capitalize on 1 or 2 chances. And this was really the opposite. Italy kept giving up, kept not scoring in big moments. And then there were 10, 15 minutes where it looked like Spain was going to score until Pelé came through. So there's reason for concern, but at the same time, I know Conte is going to adapt and do what needs to be done against Germany. It'll be an uphill battle, but I'm sure Germany does not want to play Italy next, I'll tell you that much.
David, you're a student of the game. You follow many leagues all over the world. You study players. You study the transfer market. You're very humble, but you're very sharp in your analysis. I need your take before we let you go on what we saw today, something that I think we'll never see again. England humiliated by Iceland, and to me, honestly, the way you enjoyed what happened late in the game with Spain and the players not shaking the coach's hand, I thoroughly enjoyed what happened to England today because look, the arrogance that they have, the style that they the way they come across, and they've won absolutely nothing for 50 years in World Cups and Euros. To me, David, I don't know if you believe this or not, I've yet to see them spit blood, throw teeth out of their mouth, go through a brick wall, and die for that jersey in 50 years.
Well, I think this is why we all love sports. You know, England has the richest league in the world. They always like to remind us that they invented the game. And today, Iceland, you know, who many didn't even think should be at the Euro, never mind get out of the group stage, won the match, and this is why we love sports. You know, there was a lot of criticism on having more teams at the Euro, that it would dilute the talent, and today is why maybe it's not such a bad thing. So, you know, it's a storyline you wouldn't be able to come up in a movie if you tried, and this is why we love sports. So, great for Iceland. It's a fantastic story, and sometimes the group can overcome talent. That's just how it is.
You had some big news as we let you go about Pogba of Juve and a possible move there on your wonderful site and all the great work you guys do. Talk about that quickly, and where can people read that, and where can they follow you?
Great. Thank you, Anthony. So you can follow me at David Amoyal, Amoyal, and you can follow us on Gianluca Di Marzio's English site. So I think, you know, the situation with Pogba is very simple. You know, Juve would love to keep him. They have a great team. I think they have a very good chance to be a contender for the Champions League next season. But he can make more money at other clubs. So it's going to be up for him to decide if he wants to wait another year or two and give up playing for Juve, where he's very comfortable, to go to a big club where he can be just one of many stars. So it'll be a fascinating situation. Juve would love to keep him, but at the end of the day, it's really up to the player. So we'll see more what happens in the coming weeks. I think odds are he'll stay at Juve, but it's possible he goes to Real Madrid or Manchester United, who can pay him a lot more.
Enjoy this win in beautiful Boston. Get ready for Germany on Saturday. It should be a wonderful matchup. David, thank you so much again for joining us. Sorry for the delay. We've had some technical issues, but once again, we really appreciate you joining us, my friend.
It's always great to talk to you, my friend, and a big thank you to all my wonderful supporters in Toronto. We really appreciate all you guys do, and have a great evening, my friend.